Hello everybody, SonicNinja here, and tonight I'm going to show you how to download and set up the Ocarina of Time Randomizer online so you can play with your boys. You're going to need the Ocarina of Time 1.0 ROM for the randomizer. Uh, I'm not going to tell you how to get it, you can figure that out. Anyways, so what you're going to do is you're going to start by downloading the OoT Mod Loader. I'll be putting all the links in the description for the video. So we're just gonna go with the zip. This one is the 1.14 hotfix. Download that. Go to desktop. Save it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna open up the folder. It's gonna be folder inside. So this one we're going to drag and drop onto the desktop. So once we're done with that, then go into this folder. See a whole bunch of stuff in here. The only thing that you really have to worry about is this ROM folder. That's where you're going to put the patched game inside of. And the OoT Mod Loader is how you open the program. So if you double click that, it's going to show you this window here. What you're going to do is you're going to set your username. I put mine. I believe it can only accept up to 8 characters, so just be careful when entering your username, otherwise it might get buggy when you try to go in. So, boys night. Put a password if you want so random people don't join in. Okay? So, we don't have a ROM yet, so we'll be doing that later. So, from here, you don't want to change anything on the server side. Customization, this lets you change the color of the tunic, enable custom colors so that people can see those colors in game. This, where you can browse the lobbies, they show how many people are in there, and then the rest of the other tabs, don't worry about. So, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to patch the ROM for the randomizer. Go into here, you can otherwise use the OOT randomizer site, which I'm going to link in the description, or you can download the dev version, I should say. This one, you can download a zip, and then just going to download it to the desktop. This one has a little bit more features than the one that's on the website. Custom button colors and other menu stuff. So open up this, to drag and drop it, and then open this folder up. Why? So then there's going to be a link to a program called Node. So what you're going to do is you're just going to click the Windows installer button, and it'll download the program for you. The very first time around, it takes a long time for it to find all the files so that it can load the GUI. Once this is done, then we'll start toggling options and stuff like that. And it looks like it finished. So now it's opening up the randomizer here. So first things, we're gonna close out of this and we're gonna organize our files a little bit so that it'll be easier for future times when you're going to make a new seed or something like that. So we're just gonna make a folder here. I named it OoT Online. Just gonna move all the new stuff in there. Okay, and inside this folder, we're gonna create a folder that says clean ROM, so that we have a location where the base ROM goes. So we're going to be opening up the randomizer. It's not going to take as long as it did before because it already got all the assets it needed. And look at that. Instantly boots up. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of things here on the screen. I'm going to show you exactly what settings I put for my seed when I do my streams with the boys. So what you're going to do is the base ROM, you're going to be clicking your clean ROM, which is OOT Online, clean ROM, and the 1.0. Then for output directory, you're going to be sending it to OoT Mod Loader and ROM folder. Select the ROM. Okay, so now we have the ROM and where it's going to go. So now let's create the preset so that it's easier for us to make new randomized seeds. Okay, so I got my settings that I wanted. For them. Then we're going to save a preset. Save. Alright, so every time we want to go back and do this, we always make sure we'll hit load so that it loads the preset so we don't have to worry about anything. For OoT Online, basically everybody who's playing has to have the same seed. So basically you can give them the seed information and they'll be able to type it in and then they'll be able to generate it from their own ROM. Normally you would change a player count if you were doing a multi-world, which is everybody gets their own individual world and people has items for each other. But with OoT Online, you're all going to be sharing one world, so there only needs to be one ROM to be made. So once we're done, we just click generate. All right, and it finished. Just click OK, and you can exit out of the program. All right, so now we're going to be going back a folder to OoT Mod Loader. Then if we look in the ROM folder, a bunch of these files have been created here. So spoiler log, the actual game itself, and a text thing that shows what cosmetics were changed to what. So from here, we're just going to open up the OoT Mod Loader again. Saved settings here. So as you can see down here, it says the ROM was selected. So you can have it, whatever game ROM seed you're going to do, select it here and always change it out there. We don't need to run a mod because it's already patched itself. So then we're going to click connect. It's going to host the game. So this is what you're going to do if you're actually hosting the lobby. All the other people are going to need the correct ROM, and then they're going to need to go into lobby browser. But as you can see, the music is changed. So anyways, so it's clearly working. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a few tweaks in the emulator that's good for gameplay wise. We're going to get rid of the status bar because that gets rid of that thing at the bottom. Under controllers, I'm using the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. So what you're going to want to do is for the analog to want to check here, change the X and Y. So to unbind it and bind. It's a direction, which is I press to the left. This one I'm pressing up. And then for controls, up, down, right. I use the right analog stick for the C buttons, but you can basically set up the controller how you like it. Okay, so set up our controls. Let's test and see if it worked in game. So we're getting an error where your controls are flipped. So what we're going to want to do is flip access. Save. Okay, it still seems to be messing up. Let's see. Try flipping the axis on the Y. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Looks like we didn't need to do this. Flip axis back X. There we go. Alright. Put the name of what we put as our username for the OoT Mod Loader. So it's gonna start off a little slow in the beginning because of it's loading the items for everybody. So now that we're in, we can clearly see that the analog is working with slow movements. All of our buttons are working correctly. And you can see that the HUD is changed, so the C buttons are light blue. And the A and B are both green. So as we can see, we got it all set up correctly, and it seems to be working just fine. For the window size, you can just drag it till you get to right where you want it to be. You don't want to change any of the video settings inside of the emulator through plugins or whatever, because it can higher resolutions can make the game look better, but it can run at a different rate. So sometimes that might lead to desync issues. So just leave the settings vanilla. Just make sure to configure your controller, and then everybody else should be able to jump in just fine. As far as hosting goes, you do need to port forward on your router. All you have to do is forward the port that's right here, 8082. You don't need to change any of the server settings or anything like that. I'll post a link in the description. There's a portforwarding.com site that shows every single router and how to port forward on them. Basically, you go to the security tab, and then you see port forward, and then you type in the port, which is 8082, and you want to make sure that you have a IPv4, which is a static IP. All that kind of information will be in the description. It's kind of hard to show that kind of thing because then it will show personal information. But as you can see, the game's running fine. You can't close out of this window, but down here it'll show you when people connect and stuff like that. Also in game, you'll see a little link head where it says player has joined. Whenever you want to play, all you have to do is just OoT Mod Loader, select the game. Your settings will normally save. Just hit connect. Yeah, that's what I forgot. You can change the window size without it not affecting anything. So depending on how big you want it. But yeah, I believe that's it. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, and I respond to comments pretty well. So if you have any trouble setting up anything, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to walk you through as much as I can. This is SonicNinja signing out.